Good afternoon, everyone. To Jew, the temple is the sign where God is abiding, and to Jesus, to Christians, Jesus is the temple, and to Jesus, we are the temples. Jews demand signs, and the Greeks look for wisdom. And St. Paul said, we have nothing but the cross. The cross, the tools for the servants to be executed. The slavers, they are the means for the slavers to be executed. And that was a shameful instrument for execution. And Paul said, we are boasting about this shameful execution. The one who died for us on the cross. Why? Because he finds that we are the temples, and he wanted to give his life for these temples. Today's topic from today's gospel is the cleansing of the temple. So my topic for today's homily is cleansing. In what way we be cleansed? The things are very inkling and ambiguous. We feel ambivalent about the things we are facing since last year. It's been a year, and around last year this time, we were stolen. Our Mass and sacraments were all stolen due to the pandemic disease. And our mind is tired, and we cannot see things clearly. And young generation, they demand signs. And elders look for wisdom. Church doesn't seem to provide them with well sorted out answers. How do we then see the things clearly when the things are not clear enough? From today's gospel, Jesus, out of his zeal, Jesus was really willing to cleanse the temple, us. Church fathers have taught us, and there are two traditions in seeing God clearly, so that we see things clearly. When our soul is filled with too many matters, we cannot see God clearly. Therefore, we cannot see our life clearly. When our soul sees God clearly, things are very clear. That's what the people around Jesus' time needed. They needed the truthful temple from where they can get signs and wisdoms. The two traditions from the church fathers, one is called the Epiphanicism, another one is called the Catapharisism. The name sounds somewhat thick, but let me explain it simply. Epiphanicism is regarding negating all the thoughts and images and your knowledge, information, experience. You are negating all those things. That's Epiphanicism. In application, we have many issues in the family. We have many issues in our career. We have many issues in the job world. And we need to talk with our children and my wife and my husband and my parents and co-workers in the job world. When we communicate, I find that this generation is too big on their ego, and they know about, this is what I think. I am convinced, I am super convinced. Especially young generation, they are good at it. And there's no hint for us to go into their hearts so that we can have this open heart conversation, because they are too much in it with the knowledges and experience. They believe that they are true. When things are too strong, opinions are too strong, we only encounter the results that only hurt us and frustrate us. At least in the family, we want to communicate with our children and our loved ones softly. The method applied from the insight of the apophaticism is, you try to eliminate what you have, what you believe, what your experience are grounded. Try to eliminate it. The church fathers, when they talk about the apophaticism, they say the reason why we do not see God is because God is hidden in the cloud. God is hidden in darkness. Within our human mind, we cannot see it because we are creatures of God, and the creatures cannot see the Creator. That is normal. Then what is the way we can see the Creator? The Father said, by eliminating what's inside, so that you earn the understanding beyond understandings. If you are able to remove the stuffs you hold on to strongly, then you have easier conversation. Let's say you need to communicate with your teenagers. You need to communicate with your stubborn husband and biased wife. Before you want to directly go into claiming your own stuffs, face yourself and try to remove your agenda first, so that you can see your children better, your wife and your husband better, and your co-workers better. As long as we are occupied with my own egotism, we cannot see the things clearly, including God. In this filthy mind, we cannot see God clearly. That's why they said, in order to invite God in the center of my soul, we need to see God clearly. That is not because God is incapable, but because we are filled with darkness and cloud. Our eyes are dark, our eyes are cloudy. And therefore, self-purification, self-negation, to earn humility, that is the best way to see God clearly. Therefore, to see others clearly. That is apophaticism. That is the apophatic way to cleanse the temple beloved by Jesus. Second approach is cataphaticism. Cataphaticism is the opposite of apophaticism. Apophaticism is the via negativa, negative way to approach it. Cataphaticism is via positiva, positive way to achieve it, by using your experiences, thoughts, images, and knowledges, all those things. But out of many, I would like to invite one method from Catholicism. In Catholicism, try to pick up the imagination. When I was ambitious enough, that was to show my parents the Grand Canyon when they visited some 10 years ago. There is a place where the skywalk is, and from the top of the skywalk, you see the cliff, and down the bottom, far from the skywalk. And I said to my mom, imagine yourself that you are bravely standing there. And I try to revise in a very easy way so that my mom could understand the methodology I was trying to introduce. And my mom said, since I have you, my son, the priest, why should I be afraid? She didn't have any fear about it because I was there, the one God representing. And we went up, and we were fine because I already imagined in my prayerful attention from morning the plans I already had for the day. And I saw my mom was walking bravely, and my father was walking and looking around with a lot of curiosity. I was imagining that the threesome of my family were enjoying the sightseeing in a Grand Central Terminal is the place where I am, my office is, Grand Canyon. That's the imaginative prayer. So you see things clearly. Let's say you have heavy conversation with your wife, your husband, your children, and your boss regarding salary raise. In the morning, you imagine that you are conversing with these people with your soft, understanding heart. Instead of you become upset, you become hasty, you become feisty. You invite the heart of Jesus so that you have warm, understanding, embracing conversation with the ones you need to negotiate. Let's say you are planning to go trip with a crowd from where you are supposed to jump from the bridge, bungee jump. You are afraid, you are highly anxious, but you have no choice. Imagine yourself that you are bravely standing with Jesus and jumping out of there. In this preparation, you feel better. You are well ready. That's another way to cleanse yourself in removing doubts, fears, and your incapacitated personality. You can upgrade yourself in this imaginative prayer with Jesus. Today, Jesus talks about the cleansing of the temple. Jews, they find the temple is the present sign of God. To Christians, Jesus is our temple. To Jesus, we are his temples. He is willing to cleanse ourselves so that we have more confidence, more centeredness to live through these pandemic years. Jesus is willing, and he is willing to be the cleanser, the the big brother to us. We only want to brag about that Jesus died on the crucifixion. The cross, the humiliating means to execute the slavery. He chose to be our slave, to cleanse us. We are here and we confess that we want to serve Him. To help us serve Him, He is already serving us and He will be serving us. Let us have courage.